Come manifest your best life with 190 Vision.
You've come at a good time. My husband and I are having this discussion, and I think it might be interesting to you as well. We were just talking about the story of when Jesus, this is from the Bible, when Jesus had a dinner or ate with tax collectors and so called sinners. And he was there with his disciples, and I guess some Jews from the town, rabbis or something, came by and they saw that and they're asking, why is he eating with these sinners and tax collectors? And Jesus said to them, you know, the healthy don't need a doctor. And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. So why wouldn't you eat with, you know, those who are sinners and not doing the so-called right things? Those are the ones who need the help. So it's all this thinking that we're talking about that we have in different cultures and with different religions or political groups. It could be anywhere, but it's a consciousness, and we can get ourselves kind of stuck or trapped in this consciousness because we believe that that's the way it should be, and sometimes we choose not to maybe to be too flexible with our exception of things or the way we look at it. So, continuing this conversation now, my husband has a few more examples, and so do I. We're going to turn it over to him now so he can give us another example.
Okay, I'm thinking because I thought you were going to talk about this whole thing, so you just cut me off. You always have these great stories, and you normally can give a lot of stories about these things, like examples.
Me, you have the most stories of anyone. Okay.
Okay,
uh,
so
and
let's go back to. You were to say something?
I was going to give another example.
Okay, go ahead.
Again, it's a religious one going back to the Bible. There was something. Now, I have never really read the Bible. I've only heard stories from it. So if you know where this comes from and you want me to know, then just send us a message and I'll read it. But anyway, there is a story that goes something along the effect of that, back in the time of Jesus, it was keep holy the Sabbath day. That's one of the 10 Commandments. In fact, it's commandment number 3. And so Jesus was walking and talking with his apostles, disciples, whatever they were at that time, and they were hungry. So Jesus started to go through a field picking the food and eating. And they're like, but wait, it's the Sabbath. We're not supposed to work. And Jesus was, this is my as my husband calls it, ghetto version. And Jesus was like, man, I'm hungry. If you're hungry, just take the food and eat. We have to eat. So to me, that's a whole other consciousness trap, we'll call it, where you have this belief that you can't do something because that's just the way it's always been done.
Well, I hope you have that story right, and I'm glad you put all your your disclaimers in the beginning.
That's why the disclaimers are there.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that story, but I don't know exactly how it goes. But you're right about we call those consciousness traps, right?
Hmm.
And that's something that we definitely work on here at One Night Division. But I never really thought about that as something that could affect someone so badly. But I guess it even goes to, and again, this is another one based on religion. And I guess I bring this one up because it used to bother me a lot
Hmm.
as a Catholic, right? And I know that right now, everyone probably looks at me as a bad Catholic, including yourself. And they'll probably look at you like your siblings don't even believe you're Catholic. And that's not my fault because they probably say, you married this bad person, you know. But I remember, growing up, we used to have a lot of fun at church. We were forced to go to church, right? And I say that because we were literally forced to go to church.
Uh-huh.
We get there 6 o'clock mass, and then we have to go to school after that. And if we don't show up, we get in trouble. Okay, great. But I, even though we're being forced to go, you still respected the church, and you respected everything about the church
Mhm.
because it was important. It's an important aspect of our lives growing up. But then I remember this one time, all of a sudden I heard that if somebody is gay, they're not allowed to be a Catholic and they're not allowed to even enter the Catholic Church. And at that time, I didn't know anyone that was gay, because growing up, where I grew up, they were probably smart enough not to mention that they're gay because they'd probably attack them or something. I don't
Uh-huh.
know for sure, right? But that's a type of culture that I grew up with or under.
Mhm.
But it bothered me that here we're being taught every church reading to be merciful and loving.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we're being told, well, if you're gay, then don't even bother coming to the church. You're not allowed. All right, that bothered me, right? A little
Mhm.
bit. But then you're in school, of course, because I went to a Catholic school. We have religion, so we're taught religion every day. And all of a sudden, your teachers are telling you that if you're friends with a gay person, that you're not a good Catholic. I'm like, what? I mean, is a gay person a bad person? I mean, what's really going on?
Mhm.
And it just bothered me from that age, and I was very young. But that's when I started to question what was going on with the Catholic Church. Then I get to America, and a few years ago, we were already married. The announcement was made by the Catholic Church. I guess the Pope decided. I don't know who decided that, to make the announcement that if you're gay, you are now welcomed in the Catholic Church. And I was just like, okay. So now, what happened to all the people, including myself, who became a bad Catholic because now I already knew people that were gay, right? Because I'm in America now,
Mhm.
and they're my friends. So I obviously was a bad Catholic because I was told that if I befriended them, I'm a bad Catholic.
Uh-huh.
But now the Pope or whomever it is decided that gays are now welcome in the Catholic Church. So I guess Jesus changed his mind. All of a sudden, they're good people now. Does that make me now a good Catholic? And I wondered about that, right? I said, well, so who's making these decisions? Obviously, it's not Jesus. Jesus
Mhm.
is not going to go like this. Well, all gays are bad people. And then way later, he goes, I changed my mind. Gays are actually good people. They can come to the Catholic Church now.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
what we call a consciousness trap because
mhm.
you choose to adopt a certain type of consciousness, right? And
Mhm.
you live your life based on that. And it's a trap because you believe it so much that everything else is no good. And you
Right.
ignore it or you put it down, you judge it, and not in a good way. So go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, yes, we were taught similar things from the Catholic Church that we attended growing up because they were more traditional in everything they did. And I remember my sister, one of her classmates in high school, was openly talking about how he is gay and everything. And we loved him. We didn't see anything wrong with him, but at the same time, there was that constant turmoil and inner conflict. Like, I'm not supposed to be accepting of him or be friends with him. And I'm like, well, if my sister can do it, I can do it, because and he's a really nice person. He's smart. We all worked well together. He helped my sister with her classes and stuff. And so there was this conflict. And it's like, well, what do I do? And so my dad, he told me, you can love the sinner, but hate the sin. So it's okay to like him, but you're not supposed to like what he does. And I had to also apply that because at the same time, which I'll bring up more, as they say, skeletons from the closet, when I used to go and protest with the church group on abortion, that was something else that we were taught from the priests of the church, that if a woman has had an abortion, you're not supposed to deal with her because she's already, going down to where because she killed a soul. And so we should have nothing to do with her. And yet I'm going to these rallies to go and try and stop these women from having an abortion, and at the same time giving them pamphlets about how they can seek help and turn to God and repent. That at the same time, I'm being told, no, you're not supposed to talk to them. You're not supposed to deal with them in any way because they can drag you down to you nowhere too. So there was just that, to me, yes, that consciousness, that idea was there, that this is how it should be, this is what we should be doing, but this is the other way we're handling it. So as a kid, I had several confusing moments when it came to these kinds of ideas.
To watch the full episode of this video, please go to the 190 Vision channel on Roku TV or Amazon Fire. Request help by visiting the 190vision.com website. Click on the Help Me tab and submit the consent form. Join others that are on the path of manifesting their best life through the 190 Vision Facebook group. Learn more about other topics by listening to podcasts on the 190 Vision Spotify channel or by watching videos on the 190 Vision YouTube channel. Help support the 190 Vision community by clicking on the Donate button that is located at the bottom of every page on our website.